Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how the concept of using generic games works so that you can use these games anytime for any lesson without any advanced preparation. And I'm also going to give you a quick preview of the first 6 games. So basically all 6 of the first games have the same setup. I have a rule review area, and that's where you might put in whatever information you are reviewing or practicing with your student. It's optional to use that, but that's what it's there for. And a work area up here, so this is where I would actually either dictate a word for my student to spell or possibly type a word or a sentence for my student to read in order to take their turn. So basically how the Connect 4 game works is would give my student a word to spell, and let's say they were successful and spelled the word kick. Then they would go ahead and roll a die, and I found a site, freeonlinedice.com, where you can roll a die, or you can flip a coin. And they would roll the die to see where they would place their game piece. But before we go back and place the game piece, I want to point out something really important. If you notice at the very top of my browser where I'm pointing, I have that red stop sign with the white hand on it. That's an ad block. I would very strongly recommend that you install that in your browser that you're using when you tutor, because that will block most ads and certainly block inappropriate ones in most of the time. This site, for example, normally has quite a few ads on it. I did not even know that, so another tutor mentioned it to me, and the ad block that I'm using is so effective that it totally gets rid of those ads. So that's the one I will recommend to you. It's called AdBlock, and it's at getadblock.com. It's free, but they do ask for that you consider making a donation. So I would recommend that. Having used it for a while, it does work very well. And I did make a donation, and once I made a donation, I don't hear from them at all. And it's always in the background working and taking care of ads. So once they roll, and I think we had gotten to 2, then my student could place their piece anywhere in the 2 column. And then I would go back and roll and place my piece wherever I rolled. And I have directions here, since there are 6 numbers you can roll, and there's only 4 columns. If the student rolls a 5 or I roll a 5, you skip your turn. If you roll a 6, it's like a wild card. You can put your piece anywhere. And the goal in this game is to get 4 of your pieces in a row in any direction before the other person does. So that's how you play Connect 4. Okay, bingo is the same way. You share one bingo card, so you have 2 different color tokens. The student does the work, you have your rule review area, and after the student successfully does whatever task you've had them do, they can roll the die and place, depending on their number, 1 through 5, place their bingo chip in any column. And this green one is a free space for both of you when you're sharing the same card. And if the student or you roll a 6, that's also then a wild card, so to speak, and you can put your bingo chip wherever you would like on the board. Tic-tac-toe, exactly the same principle, where the student answers whatever question, reads a word, spells a word. You could do math equations, you could do questions from any subject, actually, because these are generic game boards. Even though I'm a reading teacher, it can be used in a much broader way. And then they would again roll. Well, in this case, you don't need to roll a die. You would place, they'd either be X or O, and you would take turns placing your pieces to see if someone gets tic-tac-toe. The next 3 game boards are generic game boards, same principle, but here you roll a die and each of you moves your game pieces to take turns and go around the board. And that's Winner, Winner, Chicken Dinner, Colorful Clouds, and Color Me Happy. So that covers how you would use the first 6 games, as well as hopefully you're getting the idea of how you just can open any of these, and even at the last second let the student pick which one they would like to play on. And then you would insert the material that you have in front of you that you've already prepared for your lesson or that is in the teaching manual you're using.